was the only camera in the room as board members expressed their shock over this. And Jill GLAVAN joins us now live to explain. Jill?
Yeah, hey there, Ray. Well, Superintendent Glenda Ritz says even though she signed this document 9 months ago, she thought it was premature to tell the public about it. But the contractor who also signed it said today they thought this was all final.
This was a settlement, right?
Board of Education members expressed their shock over a settlement following Indiana's I-STEP glitches back in 2013.
I'm a little flabbergasted.
Superintendent Glenda Ritz signed the settlement in October of last year. It outlines the deal reached for CTB McGraw-Hill to pay Indiana back after thousands of students experienced glitches while testing. Here's what's in it: $458,000 in cash credited to the state and $2.9 million worth of services provided by CTB at no charge. Those services include $310,000 for 2 I-STEP student growth reports, another $300,000 for stress tests completed this year, $150,000 for 3 CTB student art project workshops, and more than $2 million for unspecified additional services.
From our point of view, we've worked with the state for many years.
As recently as May, the department told us a settlement had not been reached, but CTB President Ellen Haley clearly thought differently.
We entered into that, what I do consider a settlement agreement, almost 9 months ago or longer, and we're operating in good faith under that agreement, and we intend to do everything we said in there.
So this is used.
Ritz and her department say because the settlement is tied to a new contract for CTB to rewrite I-STEP this year, and that contract is not finalized, they didn't release it.
Because we did not have an extension yet with the CTB for the 14-15 school year.
Told me that she has used it with her clients.
For their part, CTB said it planned to provide every service regardless of what's happening to finalize the contract, including the plan already in place to revise I-STEP this year.
It's unfortunate to hear this after all the good work we've done together. I'll just say that personally.
Now, I asked Ritz in the department today multiple times, why not just tell the public when you sign this and say it wasn't finalized? They told me that they had been advised by several people on the state level to keep it private. Now, board members are also reacting to this news today. I'll bring you more of their reaction. That's coming up tonight at 6.
I'm very concerned.
That's the message from the superintendents of 20 central Indiana districts after their technology directors told them this.
Oh no, not again.
In Zionsville, Patty Bostwick students sat down to take practice I-STEP tests Monday.
Several issues of spinning globes and of students getting kicked out of the test altogether.
They're not the only ones. Other Indiana districts say they've seen similar problems, eerily similar to the glitches that plagued last year's I-STEP test.
We take responsibility.
CTB McGraw-Hill personally apologized to the state for last year's mess, saying it would fix it. But this Monday in Oklahoma, where their standardized testing had just started, the system crashed again.
It is an understatement to say that I am frustrated with McGraw-Hill.
The company blamed a network error on Oklahoma's problem, and testing is back up. Still, it went squarely onto Lebanon Superintendent Bob Taylor's radar. He spoke on behalf of those 20 districts, all part of the Central Indiana Educational Service Center.
There's definitely a lack of trust, and I think that lack of trust not only resonates from the superintendents, but also the classroom teacher.
Fox 59 obtained this memo sent by McGraw-Hill to Indiana's Department of Education last summer after testing issues. It shows that, just like an outside company confirmed, McGraw-Hill saw there is no evidence of a significant adverse impact on performance for those who experienced interruptions during the spring 2013 I-STEP test. Still, it goes on to say, note, however, that these results do not prove that there was no impact on any student.
We've had students in tears, just absolutely tears, and set them back in front of the computer and say, we need you to do your best.
And it's that possibility, the impact on the kids, that Taylor and other superintendents don't want.
This is negatively impacting students.
Now we're going to do one more practice with our partner.
In Mrs. Helen's 3rd grade class, I-STEP is on the agenda. Her kids are going over the written test since it's coming up in less than a month.
Today we're just trying to make sure that they're kind of knowing what the words that they're going to see on the writing prompts mean. Just keep thinking about what you would do.
There's a good chance your district is in the same boat as Brownsburg. They've missed 5 days of school this year, plus several 2-hour delays.
I honestly can't remember, since I've been a teacher or an administrator, a time when we've had this many snow days in such a compact time frame.
Principal Mark John Fania has seen what it's done to teachers like Mrs. Helen.
They've rolled with the punches, and you know they're making those adjustments, and great learning is happening.
Rolling with those punches will get a little easier. Thursday, the State Board of Education voted to extend March I-STEP testing windows by 9 days. That means extra time to test and get kids ready.
As much as anything, it might lessen a bit of their anxiety because they want to make sure that they teach the curriculum so the students are best prepared.
Prepared like Mrs. Helen's class, where they're working hard, even if they have had to adjust to fit it all in.
We have worked so hard to make sure that we get our reading and math and writing time in every day. I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing.
Anxious, frustrated, annoyed. I feel like things are out of my control.
Those are just some of the feelings English teacher Jacob Pachter has heard from his colleagues this summer.
I think there's just this overall feeling of anxiety.
Anxiety over how much is unknown in Indiana education right now. Still awaiting guides to new state standards, an overhaul of school letter grades, and what to do about the I-STEP test, among other changes.
Well, we've got a lot on our plates right now, but we're going to do what's best for Indiana students.
Gordon Hendry and fellow State Board of Education members are working on a 2016 I-STEP replacement, but next year they've got to change the current I-STEP so it meets federal standards. Not to mention the fear that the feds could pull millions in state funding. Sound like a lot?
There is a lot going on right now.
8th grade math teacher Tom Hakeem's summer is hardly a break thanks to all that.
We're trying to do the best we can to bring in the information, sort through it, and then get ready for the upcoming school year.
Teachers themselves forging forward, hoping politics can be set aside and decisions made quickly, since they've now dealt with years of back and forth.
There were some really cool things that we wanted to do that we didn't do because we don't know what the governor and the superintendent and the state board want us to do. At the end of the day, we just like to be able to do our jobs.
It's heartbreaking.
As parents like Megan Stone scramble to find a school for their kids, it's all starting to feel, to her, like a game of education ping pong.
And they closed that school down 2 weeks before school started. Now they're closing this one down after school already started.
She's talking about the project school. The mayor's office closed it down back in 2012, 2 weeks before the start of school, citing low test scores and finances.
The timing of this action does the greatest possible harm.
Parents there were so upset, some of them established their own school, up and running now under the name Project Libertas. A year later, Ball State pulled charters at 7 more schools, including Imagine East on the east side. Then fast forward another year, and Flanner House Elementary parents are in a similar boat.
We have 9 schools throughout Indiana.
Nick Leroy runs the Indiana Charter School Board. It's not a part of the city's charters, but it does the same job as the mayor's office. As one of 9 statewide authorizers, anyone who wants to open a charter can apply to the board for approval.
One of the things that we're always interested in seeing is, are they providing an innovative way to deliver education?
From Leroy's point of view, charters are filling a niche, taking new approaches and targeting specific groups of kids.
The principal or the school leader is really the one who's responsible for day-to-day operations. The board will provide a higher level oversight in terms of governance, in terms of holding that school leader accountable.
But the reality is not every charter school ends up working out. Just as Flanner House Elementary parents got their news, 2 other city schools announced they would give up charters at the end of this school year. Padua Academy will be turned into a Catholic school, and Andrew Academy's future is up in the air as the city looks for new management. All adding up to frustration for parents who say they just want to see a school in their neighborhood stay there for them.
It's frustrating. I've been calling around schools all day long.